The Fifth Amendment to our U.S. Constitution provides a whole bunch of rights that are afforded to you, and you should use them. Well, let's talk about those rights, and that's the topic of this video. Hello again, everyone. I'm attorney Robert Flessis. If you haven't subscribed yet, you might want to do that right now. If you do, you'll know where to find me if you need answers to your legal questions. The Fifth Amendment contains powerful rights that serve to protect you from the government. Some of them are as follows. You can't be subjected to the same crime twice. That's called double jeopardy. You can't be compelled by the government in any criminal case to be a witness against yourself. You can't be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And the government can't take your property for public use without just compensation. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about self-incrimination. A lot of people today must not understand or appreciate this right because they give up that right all the time. The most common example where you can incriminate yourself is during a routine police stop. People give up information voluntarily to the police when they're not required by law to do that. Another big example is when the police are interrogating you and you give up information voluntarily. The point is, you don't have to provide information to the government. When you're arrested for an alleged crime and the police get information out of you, that results in you being charged with a crime. Many people have challenged the incriminating information that they provided to the government, and that gave rise to the U.S. Supreme Court looking at government intrusions into your rights. In 1966, the court held in Malloy versus Hogan the following, and I'll quote, "When determining if state officers properly obtained a confession, one must focus on whether the statements were made freely and voluntarily without any direct or implied promise or improper influence." This means that when you start blabbing to officers, a court is going to look at the facts to see if you made statements voluntarily. And you can bet that the arresting police officer is going to testify in court that you gave them that information voluntarily. And speaking of court, there's a provision in the Fifth Amendment where you can invoke your right to not testify against yourself in court. This situation was examined in Griffin versus California in 1965. In that case, the court held that if you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to not self-incriminate yourself, neither the prosecutor nor the judge may tell the jury that your silence is evidence that you're making an admission of guilt. But the landmark case on the Fifth Amendment was the 1966 U.S. Supreme Court case entitled Miranda versus Arizona. You've probably heard of it. That case held that if you're taken into custody or you're deprived of your freedom by the police in any significant way, and you're subject to questioning, your privilege against self-incrimination comes into play. If you're not advised of your rights, then any self-incriminating statements that you make are inadmissible in court. This is just a brief example of cases in your rights under the Constitution and the Fifth Amendment. I hope you remember this next time when you're confronted by police or any other government authority. I'm attorney Robert Flessis. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.